How hot is it now?
It's hot. Well, the Glam Glassblower isn't who I am every day. It's really a mindset and a way for me to be creative and come up with new ideas. It's become something that I can, it's almost like a performance, and it builds confidence in me to try something new. And so it's not something that you'll see me out every day. It's just something that helps me get creative and come up with more artistic ideas. It's just like when you get a new outfit or a cute dress, like I believe that the better you look, the better you feel. And it's easier to be an artist when you're feeling good about yourself. And that's kind of where she kind of came from, is the Glam Glassblower. Well, some people literally come in here and say, where's the glassblower? Because they don't expect a glassblower to look like this. And what I found is a glassblower can look like anything. I've seen people online that have no shirts on. They just have their Bermuda shorts and a pair of Birkenstocks. So I don't see much difference in wearing a little dress or a really nice shirt, because you should not have hot glass hitting your legs ever. It doesn't matter if you have a pair of jeans on, it's 2,000 degrees, and it'll actually melt through the jeans. So it's not as much protection. I do believe in protection, but I believe that you can just look good at the same time. You can be both. Some of my only burns actually come from wearing shoes and pants, because as glass explodes out of the bucket, we have buckets full of hot glass, and once I start making things, it's exploding into the air. If that hot shard goes down in your sock and shoe, it actually continues to burn your foot and can melt your plastic sock to your foot. Where instead, when there's hot glass on my leg or foot, I can just slap it right off. It's a lot quicker, and I actually don't get burned from it. But if hot glass pours on you, you're in trouble no matter what. This piece was inspired by me wanting to make really tall glass, since I'm 5'10" with heels, probably 6 foot. This piece was actually designed with my coworker Janet, and she takes all of our broken glass, and every piece of these had leftover broken glass, and she made these panels in between. And so that's really important to us here, is like working with recycled glass and not throwing anything away.
Favorite birds? What are the styles?
I love making the birds because you can do any color design. Instead of making and spending hours making a huge vase or sculpture, you can sample colors out in birds, and people absolutely love them no matter what. There's a lot of creative freedom within the birds and pumpkins. But I would say my favorite things to make currently are mixing rocks with glass. So I have some cairns that have rocks, Petoskey stones, things I find around the lake glued in between blown pieces of glass. And then I have a new idea that I'm working on, taking smaller Petoskey stones and lake stones and encasing them in a globe to make a stone globe. So it's kind of combining my two passions of rock hunting and glass blowing and making them look beautiful together.
What are your favorite rocks to find on the shores of northern Michigan here in Little Traverse Bay?
Nothing will be finding a Petoskey stone. There is other beautiful rocks. I do like the watermelon, garnet kind of stones. I like euperlites. The really black pieces on the beaches, they're called anthracite coal, which we actually use here. The owner uses making carbon glass from those stones. So I really like all the stones though. much gonna repeat that step, and then I'll be shaping it into the ball. Now it's pretty hard. Found at a garage sale for 25 cents. Not all of them are glass blowing tools, but can just be used. A lot of the big pokers can create huge bubbles inside of the glass. The pinchers are for big pieces, big fish. But a lot of glass blowers make their own tools. That's really important too. Making something new is you have to invent the tool to make that. So tool making done is part of the process. And so this, whenever the glass is finished, it breaks off at 1,000 degrees and it actually goes in this oven at 960 degrees. You can see the glass we made today in there. This is not a refrigerator. A lot of people think it's a refrigerator, but it's 960. It's always 100 degrees less than the computer. But this oven, everything I make today will sit in here at 960 and then gradually cool down for 12 hours overnight. If it doesn't, it will explode in 10 minutes. And so that's not fun when you make a beautiful bird and then it comes to crumbles. So this step is really important, and pretty much any glassware that you have or that's still intact today went through an annealing process.
How many years does it take to become an expert glassblower?
I think to become an expert glassblower, it takes passion more than years. I'm at my 10 years and I feel like a master glassblower, but at 3 years I completed everything out there in my apprenticeship, and there's not much difference to 3 years and 10 years now for me because I was so passionate when I started. I wanted to know everything. So I've developed my skills and techniques, but I think to be a true master is just to love the craft as long as you can and just keep learning forever. I don't know what to say.
Do you have any
I love how I didn't sweat at all in the glass shop. Now I'm talking and I'm sweating.
Do you have any of the globes?
I do. So I can kind of show you my workshop. I don't know if you can come back here for me. So this is the cold room. And there's not air conditioning, but what it means, instead of working in the hot shop, we're grinding, gluing, polishing, and finishing all of the glass. So this is where my rock collection is.
And your dog collection?
Yep, and the dogs. So here's my rocks, and this is just a recent find. Sometimes I find rocks in parking lots or just at the beach. And then I take these rocks and the globe that you saw made, I fill them all in here, and then they turn into this.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. That's really gorgeous. Wow. So how do you heat that together?
What I do is I actually take something like this, I put the globe upside down, and then I glue such a paperweight to it like this. And so they're filled with water and glycerin and alcohol. And then I did have to boil every single stone and clean it by hand because I was worried that there would be algae or growth inside of the ball. So, but yeah, but I did have one that leaked, so I'm still learning. And
like you said, being a glass blower, learning is never done.
Learning is never done. It's constant. If you're done learning, then you're failing. You're not enjoying what you're doing at all. So when I break something off, it has to get ground, and we use 5 different types of diamond wheels to get it to this point where it looks foggy. This, we have cerium oxide and water on a felt wheel. Spins around, and I take this, and I just hold it on here, and it'll actually polish it so it looks like it's finished. It'll look like the clear glass.
And that's how you make the base of that silver.
Yep, exactly. So everything gets hand polished too. It's an extra thing my boss does, but he thinks it makes it look completed and finished. A lot of people leave like a rough ground to it, but we don't do that here.
Hey, there's no way you're getting out of it.
Sit. Mama got treat. Sit. That's people come in and a customer will be looking for me and I'm literally hiding inside of this. Here, take your treat. This is what I do on my lunch break. Oh, Jackson will be in his little spot. You just sit and hide in here. With my 2 dogs. And my rocks. I'm a crazy person. Yes. Hello, baby. Oh. Yeah. See? I swear they like each other. Oh my gosh, I know. It's a tough life being a Pomeranian in a glass shop.